And so here's our 5-gallon bucket, and here's our half-gallon growler. Now think of it this way: how many of these growlers will make 1 gallon? Like, that's the place to start. So how many growlers for 1 gallon? 2 of them, because they're a half each, right? I have 2 here somewhere. Let me find it. One sec. There it is. All right. So here's 2 half gallons. 2 halves make a whole. This is 1 gallon. So every 2 of these makes 1 gallon. And so how many in 5 gallons, right?
10.
Right. It's going to be 10 of these guys. I can get 10 of these bottles from 5-gallon bucket. Make sense? So that's why 5 divided by a half gives us 10, right? All right. Okay, so how many growlers, half gallons, can be filled from a 5-gallon bucket? Now, the mathy way to do that, let me just show you what it looks like, is you say, how many halves are contained in 5? What the mathy way of writing that, believe it or not, is, you know, if you're looking at for halves in 5, the math way of writing that is actually 5 divided by a half. Isn't that weird? But if you think about it, if I asked you how many 3s are in 12? How many 3s are contained in 12 anyway?
4.
4, good. And that would look like this: 12 divided by 3, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Isn't that weird? But anyway, that's like, so 5 divided by a half is like saying how many halves are in 5, right? So this is actually the mathy way to do it. It's applying division by fractions. And that's what you're supposed to write. I want you to try to write down. And then we just deal with that math-wise. So turn 5 into a fraction, and what have you got? 5 over 1, yeah. And then times it by the reciprocal, right?
2 over 1.
2 over 1. And so you got 5 times 2, basically, right?
Yes.
5 times, that's the same thing as 5 times 2, which is just 10, right?
Yes.
So, question, how many growlers can be filled from a 5-gallon bucket? And the answer is 10, right? 10 growlers.
Yes.
And if you think about it, and I guess I could write it, but look at, you know, here's, if you think of it this way, well, gosh, let me go back to my props. One sec.